Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
The night that I got home, that he told me the reason it was inappropriate for him to be talking to me was because he had feelings for me.
That's testimony from the alleged victim speaking in court today against suspended West Fargo teacher Erin Knodel. Thank you for joining us tonight. She took the stand shortly after the defense gave their opening statement. Knodel is charged with having a sexual relationship with the girl in 2009. She was a 17-year-old student at the time. To be clear, no sexual intercourse is alleged to have happened. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop has been following the trial and has a recap of what happened in court today.
The defense came out saying Erin Knodel was a good teacher, and once rumors started spreading about a relationship, he stopped seeing her.
To point out to you that it is highly unlikely that this could have ever happened in the way that she said it happened.
The victim, who is now 23 and in college, took the stand. She says the relationship she had with him for the past 3.5 years changed after Christmas break.
I was trying to hide my phone so that they wouldn't look at my text message. And I remember Erin said that he liked my hands because they were small and petite and young.
The victim went on to say the first sexual act was done at Knodel's house while his wife was away. That is where she says oral sex occurred.
I tried to unbutton his pants, and he said no. And I asked why, and he said he wanted to wait until I was 18. So then after that, we stopped. I felt hurt. I felt like I had done something wrong. So I remember we just laid there. An older man was going to leave his wife for me, and I thought that said something about me.
Now, you talked before about being a good Catholic girl.
Yes.
That must have bothered you as well if you were thinking he would leave his wife, which is not supposed to happen.
It did bother me, but honestly, love can make you do crazy things. I did a lot of things with Erin that my morals would never have let me do.
The alleged victim explained once the relationship was broken off, she was upset and tried to beg him to change his mind.
I felt sick. I felt like nobody knew who they really voted for.
In Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
3 other people also testified today, including West Fargo Superintendent Dr. David Flowers and a handwriting expert. We'll have more from the victim and the expert at 6 o'clock. It's a story we've been following for the past 24 hours, a possible avian flu outbreak at a farm southeast of Hawley, Minnesota. The USDA is on the scene, continuing to monitor the situation. And that's where we find Valley News Team's Bradford Eric. Bradford, what can you tell us about today's happenings?
Andrew, I'm here outside the Bayer Poultry Company farm where biosecurity measures are in place. It means this whole area is under quarantine. And when we showed up earlier today, officials in containment suits demanded that we leave the area. Shortly after we were ushered off the farm, no entry signs were posted. There are warning signs up telling people to stay away. The scope of this problem, however, is massive.
Our State Emergency Operations Center, has been monitoring it, so we've been having conference call twice a week.
The Clay County Emergency Manager says plans have been in place should something like this occur for weeks now, ever since avian influenza showed up in the state.
It was just turkeys, now it's migrated into chickens, so it's a little bit different. It's the first one in Minnesota where it's gotten into chickens.
Green says Bayer Farms is one of the biggest egg-producing operations in the state, sending their product to the Perham egg plant. The plant confirmed that they have gotten eggs from there in the past, but not recently. The plant takes the eggs, cracks them, and sells that to other processors. Also, we have heard eggs from this farm go to Super Value. That's the company that supplies Hornbacher stores in the Fargo-Moorhead area. None of the infected eggs from this farm have reached consumers. They're all under quarantine as of now. Now, as of earlier today, USDA officials were still waiting for test results to come back to confirm without a doubt that avian influenza is here. And remember, health officials say that this particular strain of bird flu is not a threat to humans at all. Reporting live in Clay County, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Bradford. This is a story we first broke for you last night. So stay with Valley News Live as we continue to bring you the latest on this situation and its impacts that'll likely be felt around the valley. The Red River Valley is not the only area reeling from this disease. More than a dozen other states are battling it too. It won't be long before supermarket shoppers start feeling the effects from this. All the chickens have to be destroyed if they're in the same area as the infected birds, whether or not they're healthy. The commodities markets, however, are already being affected. Soybeans and corn have tanked.
Pork, however, went up when they realized that some of the cheaper cuts of meat, like chicken, turkey, and hogs, pork right now is the least expensive cuts of meat at the grocery store.
Yeah, well, Farm Director Mick Kerr says the fear among farmers is that this strain of bird flu has become an airborne pathogen. And with how windy it's been, they're worried the wind will carry it from farm to farm. That wind is still blowing pretty strong in parts of the valley, but at least we've seen sunshine. Let's hear from meteorologist Lisa Green on tonight's forecast. Lisa?
Andrew, that camera's shaking just a little bit, but you saw the blue sky and sunshine we at least got to enjoy today, and that helped our temperatures to rise to 50 degrees in Fargo. We're at 50 right now, 51 in Jamestown. Still a cool day, especially when you factor in that wind. It makes it feel even chillier. Wind directly out of the north, bringing in that cooler air too. 30 miles per hour is the gust in Fargo and in Grand Forks right now. And at least we're dry. We've got the blue sky and any moisture well off to the east right now. So the rest of the evening still on the breezy side, but we'll continue to enjoy some quiet conditions as far as precipitation is concerned. Temperatures that did start in the 40s will start to dip back into the 30s for tonight. So when I return, we'll be talking about if we can expect to see any warmer weather coming up here in just a few minutes.
Crossing our fingers. Thank you, Lisa.
You bet.
It appears UND President Robert Kelly may avoid a vote of no confidence at tonight's Student Senate meeting. Kelly and student leaders signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at creating better communication between the two groups. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson brings us the latest on this story.
UND student government leaders were at odds with President Robert Kelly and other administrators after being left in the dark regarding proposed tuition hikes. It prompted student president Tanner Franklin to ask the Student Senate to consider a vote of no confidence against Kelly. However, Kelly and student leaders have now signed a memorandum of understanding, which says in part, UND administrators and student government leaders agree to work together. UND will create a tuition model task force made up of students and administrators. The issue of a possible no confidence vote against Kelly is still on the table for tonight's Student Senate meeting.
So it could get thrown out. You could actually have a vote on it, either way.
It could get thrown out, or we could actually have a vote on it. Yes, that either of those are possibilities.
But does it appear a lot of the concerns were addressed in this agreement?
I think so. I think that's fair to say, and I think that would lend more towards the agreement or the resolution being just thrown out tonight. So
President Kelly is scheduled to address the Student Senate tonight before they consider that resolution for a vote of no confidence. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
That Student Senate meeting is open to the public, and it's scheduled for 7:30 tonight at UND's Memorial Union Ballroom. And we'll have coverage of that meeting online and on Valley News Live 10 at 10 tonight. A young woman accused of negligent homicide is looking at a $300 fine and no jail time. Abby Sletton is sentenced to 360 days of unsupervised probation and 360 days of deferred sentence. She will also have to pay $325 in court costs. Her attorney appeared in court today saying she changed her plea and accepted a lesser charge of aggravated reckless driving. Sletton was involved in a crash that killed an 89-year-old woman on I-29 near Hillsboro. The driver of that vehicle was making an illegal turn on the interstate when the crash happened. Investigators say Sletton was searching Facebook on her cell phone before hitting the other vehicle. More trouble for a Northern Valley woman who is already undergoing drug treatment. Lynette Hanks is facing a felony charge of possession of a controlled substance within a prohibited zone. Hanks was allegedly in possession of meth while undergoing treatment at the Douglas Place Drug Treatment Center in East Grand Forks. If convicted, Hanks faces up to 20 years in prison. A major Fargo road is shutting down. On Monday, 2nd Street South from 4th Street South to Main Avenue will be closed for the summer. That's near the high rises next to the YMCA. Crews will be building a levee and a pump station as part of the FM diversion project. Earth Day is recognized worldwide today as a day dedicated to creating a better environment. Many companies in the Valley are aiming to do just that, including the city of West Fargo. A new recycling program rolled out there in April, where residents now put all recyclables in one container. Sanitation employees say this has already helped keep 90 tons of materials out of the landfill. West Fargo Sanitation says it now has more than 80% of its residents recycling. Compared to the past, it was less than 10%. Still ahead tonight, just as the weather is starting to warm up, there's a bike recall from a Minnesota-based company. We'll have the details.
And no rain today here in the Valley, just some sunshine. Temperatures making it to 50, but the average is 60 degrees. I'll let you know if we'll warm back up coming up in just a few moments.